You know that exact feeling when you hear a quick knock at the door and you look outside and there is a little brown box waiting on your porch?
Oh, absolutely. It feels kind of like it's your birthday,
Yes,
even when you know exactly what is inside that box, and even when you literally paid for it with your own money.
exactly.
Yeah.
It is like a little present to yourself. You get so excited to cut the tape and just, open it up. But, okay, imagine this.
Okay.
You open that really exciting box because you're expecting a cool new flying camera drone.
Right.
But when you pull it out, it's the size of a matchbox.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it is literally a toy drone meant for a child's dollhouse. It is only 2 centimeters wide.
Wow. Yeah, that is the exact moment the happy birthday feeling just completely disappeared.
Totally. That sinking feeling of a bad purchase is universal.
Yeah.
But complaining about it, getting your money back, and making sure you never buy a Dangle-House drone again, well, that requires a very specific set of vocabulary.
It really does.
So today, in this deep dive, we are exploring the exact English you need to navigate the wild world of online shopping.
And since we are focusing on English learners today, we are going to take our time.
Right. We want to keep the vocabulary clear and make sure every single concept is easy for you to grasp.
Exactly. We are going to equip you, the listener, with the words to find what you want, fight for your rights as a consumer, and, get the best deals.
Sounds like a perfect mission.
Yeah. And we are going to start at the very beginning, because before you can argue with a company about a broken item, well, you need to know how to confidently search for an item and actually buy it.
Right, the foundation. Building confidence is the key to learning any language. And the secret to building confidence in English is to start with really simple sentence structures.
Definitely.
Specifically, sentences that follow a subject, verb, object pattern, the SVO structure.
Keep it simple and direct. For example, I bought a book online. Or, I'm looking for a gift.
Yeah, let's break that down.
Sure. So you have the subject, which is I, then the verb like bought or am looking, and finally the object, the book or the gift.
I am looking for a gift. I mean, I say that all the time when I am just looking around on the internet without any strict plan.
Right. And in English, we call this browsing.
Browsing, I love that word.
It's actually a fascinating word. Originally, it described animals like deer or cows eating leaves from trees.
Wait, really? Cows?
Yeah. They casually take a little bite here and a little bite there. They are not in a hurry at all.
That makes perfect sense. When I am browsing online, I am just casually taking a look here and a look there.
Exactly.
It is exactly like window shopping at a physical mall. Except, I am sitting on my sofa wearing my pajamas, just swiping on my phone.
Right. It is a very relaxing way to shop. And while you are browsing in your pajamas, you might find something you actually want to buy.
And that is when you need to use your digital basket.
Yes. On most English-speaking websites, this is called the shopping cart or the shopping bag.
So you simply say, it is in my cart. Or, I added it to my bag.
Very simple SVO sentences.
Exactly. But let's talk about the most important part of the whole experience, the money.
Oh, yes. The basic word here is price. You might say, the price is good, but the magic phrase everyone really loves to see is on sale.
On sale. That just means the item is currently cheaper than its normal price.
Right.
And when an item is on sale, you will usually see a percentage. For example, a sign that says 50% off.
Notice the word off there. Think of the full price as like a physical block of wood.
Okay, a block of wood.
Yeah, and if an item is 50% off, you are literally cutting 50% off that block and throwing it away. You only pay for what is left.
Oh, I see.
So if a shirt is normally $40, but today it is $20, it is 50% off.
Got it. So using our simple sentence structure, you can proudly tell your friends, I bought this shirt on sale, it was 50% off.
Exactly.
But there's one more phrase related to money that brings me even more joy than a sale.
Let me guess.
2 words. Free shipping.
Oh, yes. Shipping is the cost of sending the item from a giant warehouse directly to your house. You are paying for the box, the airplane, and the delivery truck.
But free shipping means the cost is literally zero.
Which everyone loves.
The psychology of free shipping is so powerful. I mean, I could spend $100 on a pair of shoes, but if the website gives me free shipping, I feel like I just won a game.
Right, yeah.
I feel like I saved so much money.
It is a brilliant psychological trick. We hate paying for the delivery because it is not a physical thing we can hold in our hands.
Exactly. So, okay, you have mastered the basics, you have filled your cart, you found a great sale, And you scored free shipping.
A successful browse.
But the online shopping journey is not always that smooth. What happens when you try to buy clothes and you have no idea if they will actually fit your body?
Ah, right. This is where you have to move beyond simple statements and start looking for the hidden details. You have to ask the right questions.
They call these open questions. These are questions that require more than just a simple yes or no answer. So if you want to have a real conversation with an English speaker about their habits, you don't just say, do you shop online? You ask, what do you usually buy online?
And when you look at the data on what people are actually buying, you see a lot of heavy household items, like big boxes of paper towels.
Oh, sure.
People buy them online so they do not have to carry them from the supermarket. They also buy a lot of gadgets, which are small electronic devices. But clothes are incredibly popular, too.
And clothes introduce the biggest problem in the digital world. You cannot try them on.
No, you can't.
A medium shirt in one store fits perfectly, but a medium shirt from another store is way too tight. So you might say, I'm worried it won't fit.
To solve this problem, you really have to use a size chart.
A size chart is absolutely essential. I like to think of a size chart as a translation dictionary for your body.
I like that comparison.
Yeah, you take your physical measurements, your chest, your arms, your waist, and you use the chart to translate those numbers into the specific language of that brand's clothing.
It translates your reality into their sizing system. And there is another tool that translates the reality of a product for you, the reviews and the ratings.
Right. Ratings are usually a score out of 5 stars. You might say to a friend, this product has a 4.5-star rating.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah. And the reviews are the written comments from people who have already bought the item. You have your 5-star reviews, which are glowing and happy, and your 1-star reviews, which are completely miserable.
And if you are learning English, those 1-star reviews are a gold mine.
Okay, I really want to push back on that idea.
Oh, really? Why?
Well, when I am shopping, I usually skip right past the 1-star reviews. Aren't they usually just written by grumpy people who love to complain on the internet? Why would anyone study them?
I get that. But think about the language of happiness. When an item is perfect, people do not write very much. They just write great or love it.
True.
That does not teach you anything new. But when someone is angry because a product is terrible, they want the world to know exactly why. They become very, very descriptive.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
They use exact, specific adjectives. By reading bad reviews, you learn the exact vocabulary of failure.
Right.
You learn words like broken, tiny, flimsy, late, or cheaply made. Reading bad reviews teaches you the exact words you will need when you have your own shopping problems.
That is brilliant. The angry shoppers are actually the best English teachers.
Exactly.
And if the person who bought that tiny dollhouse drone we talked about earlier had read the 1-star reviews, they would have known it was a toy.
They definitely would have. The buyer saw a drone for $15. They got excited by the low price and just clicked, buy now.
A classic mistake.
But if they had investigated the details, they would have seen the truth.
The lesson there is that you must always check the specifications, or as English speakers usually call it for short, the specs.
Yes, the specs. They are the factual details of the product. They list the exact weight, the battery life, the materials, and most importantly, the physical dimensions.
If they had read the specs, they would have seen it was only 2 centimeters wide.
Right.
And when you make a mistake like that, there is a perfect English phrase to describe your disappointment. It is smaller than I expected.
Smaller than I expected. It is a really polite but clear way to say you are unhappy.
So knowing how to read the specs and the reviews helps you avoid disasters. But what happens when the disaster is not your fault?
That happens a lot.
Yeah, what happens when you do everything right, but the package arrives crushed, or the item inside simply does not work?
Well, this requires a much higher level of communication. You need to be able to fight for your rights as a consumer.
Yes, you have to be able to talk about the good and the bad of a situation in detail. In English, we call these the pros and cons. Advantages and disadvantages.
Let's look at the pros and cons of online shopping as a whole. A pro, or advantage, is that it saves a tremendous amount of time. You do not have to drive to a store.
Definitely.
But a major con, or disadvantage, is the massive amount of cardboard and plastic packaging used for every single delivery.
Right. You might order a single tube of toothpaste, and it arrives in a huge cardboard box filled with plastic bubbles.
It's so wasteful.
It is. You could tell your friend, I am concerned about the environmental impact of online shopping.
Environmental impact is a great phrase. It shows you can discuss complex, real-world issues. But let's bring it back to your personal shopping problems. What happens when you need to send an item back to the company?
Oh, returns.
Yeah.
The absolute scariest part of the process for a language learner.
It can be intimidating.
I actually have a story about this. I once bought a brand new toaster online. I plugged it in, put my bread inside, and literally nothing happened. It would not get hot.
Annoying.
So I called customer service to return it. I was so frustrated. I kept saying, "It is bad. The toaster is no good. It does not work."
Okay.
We talked in circles for 20 minutes. The customer service agent seemed totally confused about what I actually wanted.
See, that is a perfect example of why vocabulary matters. You were using basic words to describe a specific legal problem.
Yeah, I guess I was.
The agent did not know how to process your request because you were not using the language of retail. First, you have to tell them exactly what you want to happen. Do you want a refund?
Okay, a refund means you give the toaster back and they put your money back into your bank account.
Exactly. Or do you want an exchange?
And an exchange means you give the broken toaster back and they send you a brand new working toaster. No money changes hands, you just trade.
Right. So once you state if you want a refund or an exchange, you have to describe the exact nature of the failure. You cannot just say, it is bad.
So if the box was crushed by the delivery truck, you say, the item arrived damaged.
But your toaster was not crushed, it just didn't turn on. In that case, you say, the item is defective.
Defective. That is such a powerful word.
It really is. Defective means the item was made incorrectly at the factory. It is an internal failure.
Or if you ordered a green shirt and they sent you a red shirt, you say, it doesn't match the description.
And if the box never arrives at your house at all, you say, my package is overdue, meaning it has passed the promised delivery date.
You can also say, the tracking information hasn't updated. The tracking information is that long code of numbers and letters they email you, so you can follow your box as it travels across the country.
Now think back to your phone call about the toaster. Why did using basic words like bad or no good fail you?
Well, I realize now that I needed to act like a shopping lawyer.
A shopping lawyer, I like that.
Yep. When you are trying to get a refund, you are basically arguing a case. A lawyer cannot walk into a courtroom and just yell, this situation is bad. They have to cite specific rules.
Exactly.
When you are on the phone with customer service, you have to use exact words to prove why the company owes you a solution.
I completely agree with that analogy. Using precise words like defective or damaged completely changes the power dynamic between you and the company.
How does it change the power dynamic exactly?
Well, when you just say it is bad, the company thinks you might just be complaining because you changed your mind. I see.
But when you use clear, professional vocabulary, it shows the agent that you are a confident consumer. You understand your rights. You know the exact definition of the problem.
That makes total sense.
When you speak their professional language, they take you seriously, and you get a much faster solution.
So, be the shopping lawyer. State your case clearly. I would like a refund because the item is defective. That is so much better than arguing for 20 minutes.
It saves everyone time.
Okay, so we have covered a massive amount of digital ground. We know how to buy, how to read the details, and how to get our money back online. But eventually, online shopping collides with the physical world.
Yes. The digital purchase becomes a physical reality. A delivery driver arrives at your home, or, you decide to walk into a real physical store to look at a product with your own eyes before you buy it on your computer.
Right, and this means you actually have to speak to people in person right then and there. You have to handle real-time interactions. And real-time interactions can cause a lot of anxiety because they happen very fast. For example, a delivery driver might rush up to your door, hand you an electronic scanning device, and quickly ask for your signature.
A signature is your personal name written in your own unique handwriting. It is a legal promise that you received the box.
Right.
But delivery drivers are always in such a hurry. Sometimes, in the rush of the moment, they speak too quickly. You might not hear them clearly, or you might not understand the specific English word they used.
And the golden rule for these real-world interactions is really simple. Don't be a robot.
I love that rule. Don't be a robot.
Yeah.
What we mean by that is do not just smile and nod your head when you are confused. We all do this. It is totally human nature.
It really is.
Someone says something fast in English we do not understand, so our panic response is to just smile, nod, and say yes, yes.
But nodding and smiling when someone asks you to sign a legal device is dangerous. You are giving away your power. Instead of being a robot, You need to use clarification phrases. If you do not hear them, simply say, "Could you say that again, please?"
Or, if you hear the word but do not know what it means, you can be very direct. What does signature mean in this context?
You also need phrases to take control of the pacing. The driver wants to leave immediately, but if the box looks broken, you have the right to inspect it.
Definitely.
You can firmly say, "Just a moment, let me check the package first."
Just a moment. Those 3 words are magic. They act like a brake pedal.
That's a great way to put it.
When you say just a moment, you slow time down.
Yeah.
You take your power back from the rush delivery driver. It is completely fair and polite.
It is your absolute right to check the item.
Now, let's talk about the final and sometimes most awkward part of real-world shopping, the exit.
Oh, yes.
How do you end conversations smoothly and gracefully?
Well, if you are talking with a friend about the new jacket they just bought online, you exit the conversation with a nice, simple compliment. "They look great on you."
And if you are on the phone finishing that difficult conversation with customer service about your defective toaster, you use a polite sign-off. You say, "Thank you for your help. Have a nice day."
Exactly.
Even if you are annoyed with the company, you end the conversation politely with the human being on the phone.
But the absolute most difficult exit happens in a physical store.
Oh, this is the worst feeling.
Imagine you walk into a store. The store clerk is very friendly. They spend 20 minutes helping you try on a winter jacket. They bring you different sizes.
Yeah.
But then you secretly check your phone and you realize you can buy the exact same jacket online for half the price.
Oh, I've been there.
You want to leave the store and buy it on your computer later. How do you escape the store without making the clerk angry?
You definitely cannot just say, "No, I am not buying this." That feels terrible.
No, you can't.
Instead, you need an escape phrase. You could say, "Thanks, I'll think about it." But the absolute best phrase to use is, "I'm going to shop around."
I am going to shop around. That is an incredibly useful piece of language.
Shop around literally means you are going to go look at other stores to see if they have a better price or a better color.
Right.
But I want to explore why we say this. Why is the phrase "shop around" such a brilliant escape tool in English culture? Why do we feel so much guilt when we leave a store empty-handed?
Well, this touches on the unwritten social contract of customer service. When a human being spends 20 minutes helping you, they have given you their time and energy.
That makes sense.
If you simply say a direct, "No, I don't want this," it feels like a rejection of their help. In many English-speaking cultures, that kind of direct refusal is considered blunt or even rude. It creates social friction.
And makes things so awkward you feel like you owe them something.
Exactly. But saying, "I am going to shop around," acts as a cultural buffer. It softens the rejection.
Cultural buffer.
It is a universally understood, polite code. It basically means, "I appreciate your help, but I am not ready to spend my money yet."
It saves face for everyone. It does not make the store clerk feel like they failed at their job, and it removes the guilt from you, the shopper. You can walk out the door feeling totally fine. It is a graceful exit.
A perfect cultural buffer.
Well, we have gone on quite a journey today. We started by building our foundation with simple subject-verb-object sentences, filling our carts, and understanding the psychology of free shipping.
We moved on to the sitting details, learning how size charts translate our bodies and how one-star reviews teach us the exact vocabulary of failure.
Then we became confident shopping lawyers, using precise words like defective to demand our refunds.
Yes.
And finally, we learned how to stop being robots, slow down rush delivery drivers, and gracefully escape awkward physical stores.
When you look at all these phrases together, a very clear message emerges. The English language is really just a tool.
It is a tool for your life.
You do not need perfect grammar to be successful. You just need the right words at the right time. Use this tool to get the things you want, to protect your money, and to connect with people over the things you love.
I completely agree. And to help you sharpen that tool, we have a challenge for you today.
We want you to practice using the word purchase. Remember, purchase is just a slightly more formal word for something you bought.
We want you to think about this question. What is the best or worst online purchase you have ever made? Try to form a sentence in your head right now. My worst online purchase was...
Hopefully it wasn't a tiny 2-centimeter drone.
I really hope not. But as you think about your best and worst purchases, I want to leave you with one final thought to mull over.
Okay.
We've spent this entire deep dive mastering the English vocabulary for clicking buy now on a screen, tracking boxes, and reading text reviews. But the way we shop is rapidly evolving.
It really is changing so fast.
Right. Which makes me wonder, 10 years from now, when artificial intelligence is doing our browsing for us, or when virtual reality headsets become the main way we walk through digital shopping malls, what new English words are we going to have to invent?
That is a fascinating question. When there is no physical box to deliver and no physical screen to tap, will we still use the phrase shopping cart? Will we still talk about shipping?
Who knows what the vocabulary of the future will look like, but whatever those new words are, we will be right here to help you unpack them. Until then, the next time you hear a quick knock at the door and you see that little brown box waiting on your porch.
We hope it actually feels like a birthday present.
And we hope it is exactly the size you expected. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.